questions?
One thing that struck me in the film was they talked about the high levels of PCBs in the leaf litter in the New Hampshire mountains and stuff. And I try to grow organic. I'm an organic farmer and raise chickens and stuff. And that concerns me. Is like, okay, I'm trying to raise healthy food, as healthy as I can, and animals and stuff. What can we do or is there anything we can do, or we just have to live with this PCBs in our soils and in our leaf litter and stuff? And the follow-up question is, what would you use as an argument? Because I got a family friend who runs a fairly big greenhouse operation, and he sees no difference between organic and non-organic, because all the chemicals are in the environment anyway, so why even bother spending the extra money and effort to do the organic? So, kind of the two related questions. I mean, if anybody has a comment or anything that they can say.
Is there anything we can do about this?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the point where, where we're at, where we say, well, do we just say we're contaminated, screw it?
Yeah.
Or do we say, you know what, it's time to turn things around, let's take another approach?
Right.
It's kind of like, Robert Frost in those New Hampshire woods, where there's two paths we can choose, and we're definitely at that tipping point right now. I commend you for making the choices you do.
I'm getting certified in permaculture right now too, so.
That's awesome.
Up at Diacres?
Yeah, Colby Sawyer.
Cool. That means that there's two permaculture courses that I know that are going on this winter in this year in New Hampshire. Being a recent veteran of the legislative wars, and I hate to use that word, but it really is crazy in there. I would say maybe had we started the law this year, I wouldn't have, but we did start last year when there was a different political climate. I will say that it is worth an effort to bring laws, because we get to, hang out and talk about this, and we get to have moments of education that are really amazing. And I actually saw some light shifting in some legislative eyes. I really did. They might have been instructed by party leadership to vote in a certain way, but I really did see people starting to get it. And I think, this is the sort of the process that happened up in Canada when people, I just happened to have an appointment this week with June Irwin, who was the doctor, if any of you have seen A Chemical Reaction. She's the one who brought it to the forefront in Hudson, Quebec, which made the actual ban eventually happen there. And that went to the Supreme Court of Canada as well. So I actually had an appointment with her. She's kind of a wild, older woman with no real set appointment times, but anyways. And I was getting information from her about which lab tests I would want to do for pesticide specific. So, there's always moments for education, and, having your friend over for dinner and giving him some of your fabulous organic food, that might just be one way, because that's a way I suggested to somebody up in Canada who was trying to get his whole community to go organic. And to sit and, maybe give him a little bit of studies. I will say that there is one study that I know of in pediatrics. It's from a Canadian woman, and she did studies on children who had ADD, ADHD. It was like a lead story last June. And she found that the kids with ADHD had high levels of pesticides in their urine, surprise, surprise. So when they put them on an organic diet for 2 weeks, surprise, surprise, the levels of pesticides in the urine went down, and surprise, surprise, so did the symptoms of ADD, ADHD.